Matching the Game of Thrones kingdoms with real-world countries is a bit like trying to fit square pegs into round holes. But hey, it's all in good fun. Let's start with the North. It's immense, sparsely populated, cold, and its people are hardy and value honor, a mirror to Russia in many ways. Historically, Russia has been characterized by vast wilderness, fierce winters, and a certain toughness of character in its people. Plus, they've got a history of defending their land against all comers, much like the Starks and their bannermen. The Westerlands, they're your medieval version of Spain. Rich in gold mines, they're the economic superpower that isn't necessarily the biggest player on the political scene. Castles perched atop rolling hills remind me of the historical Spanish forts. Plus, the Lannisters' knack for political maneuvering kind of syncs with Spain's past empires and royal intrigues. The Reach is the breadbasket, teeming with fertility and sophisticated culture. France during its more prosperous times would be a good fit here. The Tyrells even have that air of chivalry and elegance that we associate with French nobility. And don't get me started on the wines. Both regions know their way around a vineyard. Dorne, with its fiery spirit, hot climate, and spicy food, is a dead ringer for Morocco. The Sunspear Palace might as well be in the heart of Marrakesh, and the Dornish plot to maneuver through marriages instead of open warfare is akin to the subtle diplomacy common in North African history. The Iron Islands, with their seafaring reaving culture, scream of the Viking Age Scandinavia. Like the Ironborn, the Vikings were notorious for their raids and maritime prowess, feared by all their neighbors. Plus, there's that gray, stormy aesthetic that both the Iron Islands and the Scandinavian coast share. The Riverlands, constantly being fought over with an emphasis on rivers and the trident, bears a resemblance to Germany. Fairly central on the map, the Riverlands find themselves at the center of way too many wars, just as Germany has historically in Europe. Also, rivers like the Rhine are to Germany what the Trident is to the Riverlands. For the Stormlands, think medieval England, particularly during the tumultuous Plantagenet period. Storm's End has survived countless assaults, kind of like how England repelled numerous invasions, the most famous being the Spanish Armada. There's also that stormy weather England is known for, such a fitting backdrop to the brooding Baratheon existence. The Vale is Switzerland, neutral, mountainous, and almost impregnable. The Eyrie gives off serious fortress in the Alps vibes. And just as the Vale stays out of most conflicts, Switzerland is historically the land of neutrality. And lastly, the Crown Lands and King's Landing. A politically charged hotbed, known for its rulers and the seat of power. Sounds a lot like Washington, D.C., doesn't it? Power struggles, a melting pot population, and everyone vying for influence over the nation. Now I'm perched up here in Portland, Oregon. And while we've got our own quirks, I can't think of a goatee kingdom we'd sync up with unless we're talking about how the politics in Portlandia can sometimes feel as cutthroat as a Lannister dinner party. But there you go, a rough mapping of Westeros to the real world. It's not an exact science, but it's a start. Just remember that George R.R. Martin's world was crafted to be a unique and intricate fantasy, so any comparisons to real life are made with a hefty pinch of salt.